Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody.
In today's video, we want to share some tips that will help make 2020 your best financial year yet. Stay tuned. Hi guys, I'm Tahseen.
I'm John. Welcome back to Millennial, where we give you guys practical tips to reach financial independence and early retirement. So it's 2020, and I know that a lot of us have started New Year's resolutions. Whether those resolutions are weight loss or advancing in our career, there's a lot of resolutions going on out there. But one thing we want to make sure that you guys also include in these resolutions is a financial goal. And it doesn't have to be anything drastic. I know you guys have heard of things like crash diets where a person will go on this crazy diet and then fall off of it in a month or two because it's so difficult and it's such a drastic change. We're asking that you make a financial resolution just to simply do better financially than you did last year. Even if it's just by a little bit, make sure that you're advancing in some way. So in this video, we're going to give you guys a few tips to help you come up with some ideas of how you can do that in your household. So tip number one is to optimize your budget. So first of all, you got to have a budget in order to optimize it, of course.
So if you haven't started a budget yet, that would be where you would start. Make a budget.
Yeah, and there's a video up here somewhere in this corner that we've done before to help you start a budget. And once you have that budget, you can see what's going into your household financially and what's going out financially. So if you've already had a budget for the year 2019, go dig into that budget, see where you spent money that you didn't necessarily need to spend that you can do better on this year. Or maybe you go through your budget and you realize that you've cut expenses as much as possible. And maybe what you need to do is make more income. And so figure out how you can bring more income to your budget. Maybe it's doing a side hustle or working on getting that promotion at your job to increase the income coming to your house.
Tip number two is control your debt. So we already we started a series on this, and you can see the video over there. So please, if you haven't checked it out yet, please check it out. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. But in controlling your debt, the number one thing that you can do to take control of your debt is stop accruing bad debt. And what do we mean by bad debt? Bad debt is debt that does not generate any income or is not an investment. For example, a credit card, that is bad debt. You never want to keep a balance on your credit card, because whatever you bought on your credit card, I guarantee you, is not worth the interest rates that you're going to be charged on it over the months that it takes you to pay it off. If you use a credit card, it should be solely to pay for something that you know you're going to pay within 30 days, so that statement balance is completely down to zero by the time the next statement, or by the time the next cycle comes up.
Another example, check advance loans. These are loans that you get because you get paid on Friday, but you feel that you need the money on Monday, which is fine. But the thing that happens is that they take a lump sum out of your check just so you can get that check 5 days early. So let's get to the point where this year we manage our money so well that we don't have to worry about getting check advances and things like that, because that's income that we could be putting toward our financial future versus giving to somebody else.
Another example of bad debt would be a car can actually be an investment if you buy a car at the right price, and we have a video about that as well. Mm-hmm. And it's gonna in turn get you to where you need to be. For example, a car that's going to get you to be able to get to your job that's making you money. And so in turn, over a year, if you buy a car for $8,000 and you're able to get to a job that you would have never been able to get to without this car, but if you buy a car for, let's say, $40,000 and you have all these different bells and whistles in it that you don't need, and that's not helping you generate any more income. It's not going to allow you to be able to get more money from your job or a promotion just because you have a better car. Then that is considered a bad debt. Just because you need a new car does not mean that you need a new car. Just like a car can be an investment or bad debt. Another one of the popular loans that exist in this country that could be considered either bad debt or good debt are student loans. And in student loans, it could be a great investment if you take out student loans and you're able to now generate income that you would have never been able to imagine to generate without the degree. Then that's a great investment. But it can end up in turn become bad debt if you take out student loans, borrowing all this money on a degree that you end up making the same amount of money that you would have been able to make without the degree. So another part of controlling your debt is to make a commitment this year that you're going to pay down your debt, and not just pay down your debt, but do more than you did last year. So if last year you paid down, let's say, $1,200 on your debt, let's make a commitment that this year we'll pay down $1,800 on our debt. And this will take you further in your financial journey and closer to financial independence. And we cannot stress this enough. Definitely pay more than the minimum payment.
Definitely.
Minimum payments are not set up to help you advance in your financial journey. Minimum payments are set so that companies can take as much interest from you as possible. And so definitely pay above that minimum payment as much as you can, as much as possible.
So now we've made it to tip number 3, which is honestly my favorite tip: investing. And I know when a lot of us hear the word investing, we think of things like investing money in the stock market or investing in real estate. And while these can be great investment vehicles, we all may not be in the financial position to utilize those right now. But the good news is that there are investment vehicles that almost anyone could utilize right now, regardless of your financial situation. One of my favorite is called the high yield savings account. So this is an account that's catered toward giving you the greatest annual percentage yield back on your money every single year. So an annual percentage yield is the percentage that a bank says that they will pay you for leaving your money in a savings account.
Per year.
Per year. Thank you, Lef. And so let me give you an example. So if I have $1,000 that I say I want to leave in a savings account from January 1st to December 31st, and I decide to leave it in my Bank of America savings account. Right now, my Bank of America savings account gives me back 0.02% interest as an APY. So that means if I leave that $1,000 in from January 1st to December 31st, I would make 20 cents simple interest on my money. I would make 20 cents for leaving $1,000 in an account for 365 days. Inversely, if I instead put my money in a high yield savings account, our favorite is called Synchrony. We'll have the link in the description below. But if I put my money in a Synchrony account, right now Synchrony is offering an APY of 1.7%. That same $1,000 would make me $17 by the end of the year. And while that may not sound like much, it's the difference between what you make just leaving it in the Bank of America savings account versus leaving it in a Synchrony account. And so with that, this is money that can be invested for very, very low risk. A Synchrony Bank and a lot of these other high yield savings account banks are FDIC insured, which means that if you're under $250,000 in investing or leaving money in a savings account, you're going to get your money back even if the bank fails or something goes drastically wrong. So this is a very, very low risk savings account that you can put your money in and not have to work and make more money. And even though these amounts may seem small, remember, on our journey to financial independence, every single dollar counts.
Yeah.
Well,
before you go on to the next point, I just want to, I guess, clarify for people that are not in the financial place to be able to save consistently. You're swimming in debt. We recommend that the only money that you save is your rainy day fund, and it might be about $1,000. For some people, it may be more than that. And so you're not really in the position to be saving because you want to put anything extra towards paying down your debt. But you can still tap into this, because that rainy day fund, instead of sitting into one of those banks that have just a 0.01% return, you can move that money to a high yield savings account and now have that money sitting there in case of an emergency, but now it's making $17 a year for you.
And so after that, after we utilize using our high yield savings account, the next thing that I encourage everyone to investigate to see if it's an option for you is getting an employer match on your 401k account. This is literally your company giving you free money. So a lot of people don't realize that the company is literally matching a certain amount of the money that you put into your 401k. So take that opportunity. And even if that's not money that you can use right now, because you have to be at a certain age to be able to withdraw 401k money with no penalty. But even if you can't use it right now, that is still money that can go toward your financial future. So if your employer offers a 401k match, please take full advantage of that if you can. The next option that you have under investments is something that we just recently started using ourselves, but is really, really awesome. It's called a Roth IRA. And this is a retirement account that you put money into post-tax. That means the money you've already been taxed on after your paychecks and things come out. And the benefit of this account, it has two major benefits that we love. The first thing is that the money that you put into it, you can withdraw that money back out with no penalty. So it's kind of like a savings account. At the time of this recording, each individual is able to contribute $6,000 a year toward this account. So if I contribute $6,000 this year and I need $1,000 out next year, I can take that $1,000 out of my account with no tax penalties at all. And the great part of this is that this is an investment account, of course. And so the money that is made off of the contributions, the interest that is made, you can allow that money to grow tax-free until a certain age. And once you get to that age, you can pull that money out with no taxes on that money at all. So with that being said, I hope that these tips are something that have encouraged you to begin to build your financial New Year's resolution. If you've already covered all of these points, if you've already optimized your budget, if you've also already taken control of your debt, if you begin investing in a high yield savings account, if you've begun investing in a high yield savings account, in your employer match or your 401k, or in the Roth IRA, and you still need more tips, please let us know. We have more information. There's going to be investment videos coming up. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting to see those. And so please let us know in the comments below, and we'll try to get information to you as soon as possible. We want to see everyone succeed. If you've enjoyed this video or any of our other videos, we ask you to please like, subscribe, to share, and to help share this information. We want to give this information to as many people as possible so we can all reach financial independence and start living our lives and doing the things we truly want to do that make us happy. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.